In the early 1930s, Ukraine faced one of the deadliest famines in human history. A famine so severe that millions perished, not because of drought, flood, or war, but because of a bold and rapid plan to transform an entire society. This tragedy became known as the Holodomor, which translates to death by hunger. The push for industrialization. In the late 1920s, the Soviet Union was determined to move from a rural, farming-based economy to a modern, industrialized nation. The plan was ambitious: build massive factories, expand cities, and become a global power in just a few short years. To fuel this industrial revolution, enormous resources were needed, and agriculture was seen as the key. Grain was not only needed to feed the growing urban workforce, but it also became a valuable export to earn money for machinery and technology from abroad. A new agricultural system. To secure a steady and controlled supply of grain, private farms were reorganized into collective farms run by the state. The idea was that collective farming would be more efficient, modern, and productive. However, this sudden change disrupted the entire rural way of life. Many farmers were unfamiliar with the new system, leading to confusion, resistance, and a sharp decline in productivity. In regions like Ukraine, often called the breadbasket of Europe, this transition was especially disruptive because it had long been a hub of independent farming. Grain quotas and rising pressure. At the same time, agricultural targets were set extremely high to meet the demands of rapid industrial growth. Local officials were required to collect vast amounts of grain, often leaving little or nothing behind for the rural population. As grain shipments were redirected to feed cities and fund industrial projects, villages were left with dwindling supplies, sparking widespread food shortages. The famine unfolds. By 1932, food scarcity had turned into a full-scale famine. Families resorted to desperate measures to survive, eating wild plants, tree bark, and anything they could find. Some accounts even describe heartbreaking instances of people boiling leather or resorting to acts of extreme desperation. The winter of 1932 to 1933 was the darkest period, with entire communities collapsing and millions of lives lost. Why relief didn't come? Several factors worsened the crisis. Movement between regions was tightly controlled, making it nearly impossible for starving families to travel to areas with food. Bureaucratic inefficiencies and mismanagement delayed relief efforts, and communication between local and central authorities broke down. In some cases, officials simply refused to acknowledge the severity of the famine, believing production targets mattered more than immediate human suffering. The aftermath and legacy.